everybody, this is Randy Gatula, and tonight we're at Auburn High School getting set for high school basketball. The Auburn Bulldogs hosting the Fall City Tigers. Now, as many of you are aware, the Auburn Bulldogs are not only last year's Class C1 state defending champion, but this year they've compiled a perfect 15-0 record, outscoring their opponents by an average of 30 points per contest. The Fall City Tigers are sitting at 500 on the year. They are 8-8. However, they've been playing very well lately, finishing 2-1 in a tough tournament at the Thunder Classic in Seneca, Kansas last week. You know, it's been nearly 40 years since KAUB-FM signed on the air here in Auburn. We were on hand for that, and that began our coverage of Auburn high school sports. It's been more than 20 years since Sunny 101.3 in Fall City first signed on the air and started a long run of Fall City coverage. Since then, our coverage has expanded to a number of schools all throughout southeast Nebraska and northwest Missouri, but it seems like it always comes back down to these two communities. You know, we lived here for 20 years in Auburn and have been in Fall City now for 30 years, so obviously lots of acquaintances, lots of friends on both sides of the basketball tonight. If there's anything we've learned, it's when these two schools get together, throw out the records, throw out the previous meetings, anything usually can and will happen. So we invite you to settle in and enjoy this January 30th, 2020 edition of high school basketball.
Now on the air. Thanks for tuning in to coverage of high school basketball here on Sunny 101.3 FM and online at mscsports.net. Let's head courtside for today's play-by-play with Randy Gatula.
Well, thank you and good evening, everyone, from Auburn High School. It's time once again for high school basketball here on Sunny 101.3. Tonight, the Auburn Bulldogs hosting the Fall City Tigers. My name is Randy Gatula. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for tonight's broadcast. And as always, our producer-engineer for tonight's presentation is Scott Cox back at our Sunny 101.3 studios. I realize right now we are competing with the Auburn High School band. Pretty good background drop here for us, but that will go away shortly. I assure you our signal will get much clearer here in just a few minutes. An interesting matchup tonight, as most of our listeners are aware. The Auburn Bulldogs are not only last year's defending Class C1 state champions, but they have compiled a 15-0 record this season thus far, having outscored their opponents by an average of 30 points. They're averaging 66 to 36 for their opponents thus far in the season. The Fall City Tigers, 8-8 on the year. They're sitting at 500, but they've been playing very well lately. They went 2-1 in the Thunder Classic down in Seneca, Kansas last week, losing only to the number one seed in that tournament, the Marysville Bulldogs, in a hard-fought contest. That was last week. A big crowd on hand tonight. In fact, when my wife pulled in a while ago, she said there were virtually no parking spaces left anywhere out in the parking lot tonight. Huge crowd out there, and with all the cars in the lot filled up, this is kind of reminiscent of the good old days when they used to pack this thing every week, and that's what we've got going here tonight. A big crowd on hand. A lot of folks have made the trip up from Fall City, so we've got a dandy of a ball game coming your way. Right now, we're going to step aside for a 2-minute timeout, and then we'll come back and look at the starting lineup for tonight's game right after this 2-minute break. You're listening to high school basketball on Sunny 101.3. Now we're going to have the introduction of starting lineup, so we'll do that also for the Fall City Tigers. As we said, they are 8-8 on the season. They'll go with Cade Bredemeyer. He's a 5'11 senior. Mason Crawford, a senior at 6'1. Trey McAfee, 5'11 and a senior. Caden Simon is a 6'3" senior. And Hunter Arnold rounds out the starting five for Coach Don Hogue. He is a 6'5" senior. Now the starting lineup for the Auburn Bulldogs. They're coached by head coach Jim Weeks. He'll go with Cam Binder. Binder is 6' junior. C.J. Hughes, a senior at 6 foot. Ryan Binder, just a sophomore at 5'11". Dan Frary. Frary is a 6'4" junior. And Josh Lambert, he's the biggest man on the floor. Lambert, 6'8" and a senior. And a couple of stats that we'll share here for our Fall City listeners. Cam Binder has been hitting 45% of his shots from three-point range. If that's not impressive enough, C.J. Hughes is hitting 50% of his shots from three-point range. So that's quite a 1-2 punch from outside the three-point arc for the Auburn Bulldogs, and that's been instrumental in helping them compile this 15-0 record thus far. Scoring in the ball game, they have three players averaging in double figures. Cam Binder averages 16, Josh Lambert averaging 14 points per game, and Dan Frary in double figures so far this year per game with 12 points per contest. For the Fall City Tigers, Mason Crawford has been the big gun offensively. He averages 20.6 points per game, and Cade Bredemeyer in double figures, averaging 11.4 points per contest. Well, Auburn fans, you can hear the band striking up the school fight song in the background. We're about ready to get underway. High school basketball coming your way tonight here on Sunny 101.3. We want to remind you the broadcast is also available worldwide on the web at mscsports.net. Click on Listen Live and select KLZA-FM, and you can listen in anywhere around the world. Josh Lambert steps in for the Auburn Bulldogs. He'll jump it up against Mason Crawford. We're tipping it up, and we're underway. Bulldogs control the tip. They get it out into the hands of Cam Binder. Looks like the Tigers are going to open in a man-to-man defense. The pass comes to the near right side to Dan Frary. Into the corner, baseline right side, C.J. Hughes finds Frary in the paint. Left side, Ryan Binder for three. Got it. Ryan Binder hits the three from down in the corner on the left side. Tigers with the basketball. They move from our right to left, from west to east here at Auburn High School. In the corner, handling the ball. They look for the top of the key up here to Hunter Arnold. Instead, it comes up into the hands now of Cade Bredemeyer. Bredemeyer gets it up to Mason Crawford. Crawford goes to Hunter Arnold. Baseline right side in the corner. Top of the key, that's Caden Simon with the basketball. Man-to-man defense for the Bulldogs. Simon has the ball knocked away by Binder. It goes into backcourt, and they're going to call over and back on the Tigers. Binder was in there battling for that ball. Apparently, it was touched last by the Tigers in forecourt, and the over and back call will give the basketball back to the Auburn Bulldogs. We're just underway here, 7:12 to play in the first quarter. 3-0 our score on Ryan Binder's three-pointer to open the scoring. With the basketball for the Bulldogs, this is C.J. Hughes. Goes into Dan Frary. Frary in traffic, almost has it knocked away. Comes out to Hughes for three from the right side. Shot is up and good. C.J. Hughes hits the three, and the Bulldogs have jumped out to a quick 6-0 lead. This is Mason Crawford. He pulls up for a three and nailed it from the top of the key. So Mason Crawford answered that one with a tray of his own. He put that up about 4 feet outside the arc at the top of the free throw circle. 6-3 our score. Bulldogs up by 3. Cam Binder at the free throw line pulls up for a set shot. Up and off, no good. Mason Crawford with the rebound. You can hear this is a packed house in here tonight. The crowd is noisy. Mason Crawford on the dribble. Cam Binder has him in the man-to-man defense. To the top of the key, it comes up to Cade Bredemeyer. Into the corner, Hunter Arnold. Now back to Bredemeyer once again. Cade Bredemeyer takes the dribble to the corner around Binder. Gets into traffic. Hunter Arnold in the paint. No jump shot there. Kicks it out onto the right side into the hands of Caden Simon. Simon down deep to Trey McAfee in the corner under the basket. Back to Simon it comes, and around to Cade Bredemeyer. Bredemeyer got a pick set. Now dribbles to the left side of the free throw lane. Top of the circle. Backs out between the rings. Bredemeyer drives in. He's tripped up, falls to the floor, and he'll be called for traveling. Second turnover here against the Tigers already. They'll give the ball back to the Auburn Bulldogs. Clock showing 6:47 to play here in 5:47 rather to play here in the first quarter. 6-3 our score. With the basketball, Cam Binder into the corner. Ryan Binder, baseline left side, handling the ball. Ryan puts a bounce pass into Lambert, feeding it to Frary. His little shot is up and good. Dan Frary with his first 2 points of the ball game. And our score is 8-3 now, a 5-point advantage for the Bulldogs. This is Mason Crawford on the dribble. Across to the far side, into the corner. Caden Simon, deep baseline right side, guarded by Frary. Gets it back up to Crawford. Reaching in on him is Cam Binder. Crawford backs it out between the rings near the midcourt circle. Crawford pulls up for another long three. This one is in and out of there, and the rebound goes into the hands of C.J. Hughes. Hughes will push the ball down court to the top of the circle. Right side, Dan Frary. Underneath, Josh Lambert, guarded by Hunter Arnold. Lambert with a reverse lay-in. Up and good. Josh Lambert lays it in. And ends 10-3 now. Auburn is on top. Timeout taken Fall City. 4:46 to play in the first quarter. We're back in 30 seconds. You're listening to high school basketball on Sunny 101.3. To a 7-point lead early in the contest. It'll be the Tigers basketball. Caden Simon will inbound it in backcourt near the midcourt line on the near side. Simon to toss it in. Man-to-man defense here by the Bulldogs. They hand Simon the basketball. He gets it into the hands of Mason Crawford in backcourt under the Auburn basket. Simon. Forward comes Mason Crawford to the left elbow. Caden Simon. Simon takes a couple of bounces of the ball across court. Bredemeyer around to McAfee in the corner. Trey McAfee gets the ball to Caden Simon. Left side, Hunter Arnold moves against Josh Lambert. Traveling will be the call. The ball went in the basket, but they say he traveled before putting up the shot, and it'll turn it back over again to the Auburn Bulldogs. Randy Gatula with you here tonight at Auburn High School. It's a packed house for Friday night basketball. One of the biggest crowds I've seen here, well, probably since they had when Sacred Heart was here a week ago. Big crowd on hand tonight at Auburn High School. With the ball for the Bulldogs goes Ryan Binder. He tried to flip it out to the right side to get it into the hands of C.J. Hughes. The ball is tipped away, goes out of bounds. Tigers touched it last. It'll be Auburn's basketball. Cam Binder will trigger it in. Baseline right side under his own basket. Binder lobs it in, gets it into the corner on the right side. Down deep and went to Lambert. Into Lambert in the paint. His shot is put up. We've got a whistle and a foul is going to be called. We'll see when they post it. The foul is on Hunter Arnold. On Arnold, his first personal, team foul number 1 on the Tigers. C.J. Hughes will inbound the pass into the corner. This is Cam Binder on the dribble. Binder in traffic, kicks it into the corner. Open look, Hughes for 3. Got it. C.J. Hughes with his second three-pointer of the evening. And suddenly it's a double-digit 10-point lead, 13-3. Will Vitash into the ball game now for the Tigers on the floor. Mason Crawford with the dribble. Crawford backs out, guarded by Frary. Top of the key, pulls up for the long 3. Got it. Mason Crawford with his second three-pointer. And the score now goes 13-6. The lead is back to 7 with 3 minutes and 31 seconds to play here in the first quarter. This is Cam Binder with the ball. Left side to Frary. In traffic, Daniel Frary forces a shot up off the glass. Didn't get it. Caden Simon there with the rebound. Outlet pass, Mason Crawford. Crawford guarded by Cam Binder in the man-to-man defense. Across to the right side. There's Caden Simon with a shot that's up and good. Caden Simon nails a 3 from out on the right elbow. Suddenly 13-9, and now we've got a timeout taken by Auburn with 3:08 to play in the first quarter. 13-9, the lead is 4 for Auburn. We're back in half a minute on Sunny 101.3.
Tri-State Region's Sunny 101.3.
Well, the Auburn Bulldogs had opened up a 10-point double-digit lead here early in the quarter, only to have Fall City come back and score 6 unanswered points on a pair of trays, and now we've got a 4-point basketball game, 13-9. Auburn with the basketball. Ryan Binder across court pass. C.J. Hughes for 3 from the left elbow. No. Rebound Josh Lambert. Lambert wants to go back up with a shot. Got it, and he will be fouled. Josh Lambert with the putback. He's got 4 points now, and he drew the foul. He'll have the and 1 coming. The foul is going to be on Brock Hogue, who just checked into the game. On Hogue, his first personal, team foul number 2 on the Tigers. Josh Lambert at the line, averages 14 points per ball game on the season for the and 1. The shot is up. It's off, no good, and the rebound comes down to Will Vitash. Vitash over to Mason Crawford. Crawford again picked up by Binder near the midcourt line at the top of the circle. Crawford left elbow to Bredemeyer. Bredemeyer goes around the defender on the switch up. Now Binder follows Bredemeyer to the corner. Mason Crawford takes it to the hoop, goes up with a shot. Foul is going to be called on the floor before the shot was put up, so it'll just be Fall City's basketball under their own basket. The foul is going to be on Dan Frary, his first, team foul number 1 on the Bulldogs. Caden Simon to inbound it. He's going to have to hurry. Gets it into Crawford. Fall-away shot from the corner. Crawford couldn't get it, and with the rebound is Ryan Binder. Ryan Binder into forecourt on the dribble. Binder, right elbow into the corner. Cam Binder with the basketball now. Binder across court pass finds C.J. Hughes. Spin move in the paint. Left-handed shot up, off no good. Rebound, Josh Lambert, up and good. Josh Lambert has 6 points. He got the putback on the offensive board, and the score now 17-9. The lead is back to 8 for the Auburn Bulldogs. Into the corner with the ball. Simon gives it up top. Cade Bredemeyer. Vitash on the right elbow. A cross-court skip pass. That's a dangerous one. Comes to Caden Simon. Vitash gets it over to Mason Crawford. Crawford gets a pick. Pulls back for the three. It's off the back of the iron, and there's Josh Lambert with the defensive board for the Bulldogs. Lambert gets the outlet pass out to Cam Binder. Binder guarded by Crawford. Behind the back dribble goes Binder. Into the corner. Down deep. Low post. Left side of the basket. Clears the pass back all the way to the top of the key to C.J. Hughes. Hughes dribbles out near the midcourt circle. Works to the right wing now. Here on the near side of the court. Auburn going left to right, east to west. Daniel Frary almost lost a handle on it. Now it comes to Binder. Underneath, there's Lambert. Shot is up and good. Give the assist to Ryan Binder. He found Josh Lambert under the basket for the easy two off the glass, and the lead is back to 10 once again, 19-9. Auburn with a 10-point advantage. Caden Simon, right elbow, holding the ball. Josh Lambert, the big man, all the way out there covering him up. Here comes Crawford into traffic, tries to put a shot up. Wait a minute. They're going to say he was fouled on the floor. Foul is going to be called on. We're going to have to wait till they put it up. I think C.J. Hughes, but I'll have to wait till they post it. No, check that. The foul is going to be on Cam Binder. Binder's first team foul number 2 on the Bulldogs. Now to inbound it, Will Vitash stands to the left side of his own backboard at the east end of the gym. Gets it into Mason Crawford down deep in the corner on the left side of the basket. Between the rings, top of the circle, Cade Bredemeyer handles the ball. Finds Vitash on the left wing. A cross-court pass tipped away by Binder. Chased down over there. It goes out of bounds off of Brock Hogue, and it'll be Auburn's basketball. Third turnover of the ball game on the Tigers. They're down by 10, 19-9 with 41 seconds to play in the first quarter here at Auburn. Bulldogs will come down and play for one now. That's the signal they get from Jim Weeks, their coach. Cam Binder handles the ball, gives it up to Frary. Frary comes to the right side to Ryan Binder with the basketball. Ryan Binder, top of the key. Josh Lambert, the big man at 6'8". He holds the basketball at the top of the free throw circle. Gives it to the left side to C.J. Hughes. Clock is down to 17 seconds to play here in the first quarter. 19-9. Auburn is up by 10 here at Auburn High School. On the dribble is Cam Binder. They're not coming out after him. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Binder pulls up for three, left wing. It's up, hit the support. Out of bounds. It'll be Fall City's basketball, but they only have 2 seconds to try and do anything. 2.1 seconds on the clock. Coach Weeks sending subs in here quickly, not going to take any chance on any silly fouls. Cade Paetzel into the lineup. Paetzel checking in. We'll see who else is out there. Hayden Hall on the floor for the Bulldogs. Inbounded to Crawford. He'll launch a three-quarter court shot that hits the divider. After one quarter, the Auburn Bulldogs lead the Fall City Tigers 19-9. We'll take a 60-second timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute on Sunny 101.3. Tonight's game being presented in part by Farm Bureau Financial Services in Auburn, serving Nemaha and Richardson counties. Stop in and see Jake, Tasha, or Weston at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Auburn. All right, Tigers basketball as we move into second quarter action. 19-9, Auburn up by 10. Bredemeyer with the basketball, top of the key to Mason Crawford. Man-to-man defense, as it has been throughout for the Auburn Bulldogs. Now to Caden Simon on the left wing with the basketball. Simon into the corner, finds Cade Bredemeyer. Bredemeyer back up top, Crawford across Trey McAfee. Around the horn quickly into the corner. This is Crawford. Spin move. Put it inside the paint to Bredemeyer. Ball is loose. Cam Binder comes up with it. Binder across the division line will set the offense now for the Bulldogs. Bulldogs up by 10, 19-9. Here's Binder into the corner, deep, low post right side for three. Hits the front of the iron, doesn't go, and Crawford is there with the rebound. Down court in a hurry to Bredemeyer it comes. He holds it up, pulls it out into the corner on the right side. Down to Caden Simon, into traffic. This is Hunter Arnold. Arnold moves it against Lambert. Shot is up and good. Nice move for Hunter Arnold going against the 6'8" Josh Lambert. It's Time now for the Highland Community College halftime report. Start here, go anywhere. You can find them online at highlandcc.edu. Well, at the half, the Auburn Bulldogs leading the Fall City Tigers by a score of 28-19. Looking at the individual scoring, first of all, for the Auburn Bulldogs, 2 players in double figures. C.J. Hughes has 10 points. Josh Lambert also with 10. Brian Binder and Cade Patel with 3 points each, and adding 2 was Dan Frary. Scoring for the Fall City Tigers, Mason Crawford has 9 at halftime. 3 points for Caden Simon. Cade Bredemeyer also with 3. Will Vitosh added 2, and Hunter Arnold added 2 for Fall City's total of 19. From the free throw line, Fall City did not go to the line. They shot no free throws at all in the first half, and the Auburn Bulldogs went 0 for 1 from the line. At the half, the Auburn Bulldogs leading the Fall City Tigers 28-19. Right now, we're going to send it back to Scott Cox at the Sunny 101.3 studios for 2 minutes of important commercial information, followed by your local weather forecast. We'll update you on the weather conditions for the upcoming Super Bowl weekend. Then we'll have 2 more minutes of information and be back with the third quarter. That's coming up. You're listening to live coverage of high school basketball on Sunny 101.3.
Sunny 101.3.
Your final score tonight here at Auburn High School, the Auburn Bulldogs 55 and the Fall City Tigers 40. Let's take a look at the individual scoring. First of all, for the Fall City Tigers, 2 players in double figures. Cade Bredemeyer led the way with 14 points. Adding 13 was Mason Crawford. Caden Simon with 9. Will Vitosh had 2. And Hunter Arnold with 2 for Fall City's total of 40. From the free throw line, the Tigers were 5 of 7 on the evening. Scoring for the Auburn Bulldogs, 2 players in double figures. Josh Lambert with a big night in the paint tonight. He finished with 20 points in the game. C.J. Hughes also in double figures. He had 13 for the Bulldogs. Daniel Frary added 8 before fouling out there in the fourth quarter. Cade Patel ended with 5. Brian Binder also had 5 points. And Cam Binder tonight with 4 for the Auburn Bulldogs. Don't forget, Tiger fans, we'll have Fall City Tiger basketball for you again tomorrow afternoon over on our sister station KTNC. John Nixon will have the call. A 5:30 tip-off. That's a makeup game from earlier in January. The Fall City Tigers hosting Nebraska City Lord Central Catholic. Again, a 5:30 tip-off tomorrow afternoon on KTNC. Well, that's about going to wrap it up for tonight's coverage of high school basketball. For Scott Cox, our producer-engineer, I'm Randy Gatula. We leave you with the final score tonight. The Auburn Bulldogs 55 and the Fall City Tigers 40. Good night, Southeast Nebraska. You've been listening to high school basketball on Sunny 101.3. All right, this will be a wrap from Auburn, coming in 3, 2, 1. In boys basketball action Friday night at Auburn, the Auburn Bulldogs kept their unbeaten streak alive by defeating the Fall City Tigers by a final score of 55-40. Leading the scoring for the Tigers, 2 players in double figures. Cade Bredemeyer finished with 14 points. Mason Crawford had 13. For the Auburn Bulldogs, a big night for Josh Lambert. 20 points to lead the scoring for the Bulldogs. C.J. Hughes was also in double figures, adding 13. With the win, the Auburn Bulldogs improved their record to 16-0 on the season, and the Fall City Tigers fall to 8-9. Reporting for the MSC Sports Network, I'm Randy Gatula.